and then say like, okay, he got killed. But at the end of the day, the Uncle Tom dudes are the dudes that's shooting up the neighborhoods. They the Uncle Toms. The ones that's not taking care of their kids and shooting up neighborhoods, shooting up block parties that we hear every single night in Chicago. They're the sellouts.
Word. Not
the guy that's taking care of his kid or telling his kid to dress right and play chess, because America is chess. It's just a game. If you're going to play the game, you play the game to win. Exactly. But if you're not going to play the game, you can't complain. So that's just what the culture is right now. And so, we hear that a lot, especially when you come from, a good background and diverse background. So we, in Cheltenham and Abington, we don't look at stuff like somebody from an all-black impoverished area look at stuff, because we've been exposed to people that's like very cool, that's Indian, that's Asian, that's white, that's people that's messed up, that's Indian, Asian, white, black. So we've been exposed to so much. So we always take a look back like, okay, blacks are not a monolithic group. We all think about things different. We look at things different. We listen to different type of music. We may dress different. But in certain pockets of our culture, they believe that, okay, this man's opinion is an indictment on the whole community. No, we just as diverse as any other ethnic group in the country. Like, a white person can have an opinion without saying he's indicting a whole white race. It is his opinion. He can be an atheist. He can be a Christian. He can be a hippie. He can be a hip-hop guy. But they all diverse. But with us, it's like, if I don't identify with that, I'm somehow not black enough, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think we start turning that around and saying it's all for people that don't take care of their children and don't, be there for them, or shoot up a block party and hit an innocent little girl. He's the sellout. Mm-hmm. He's the Tom. He's the coon. And matter of fact, he's not even an Uncle Tom, because when you call him Uncle Tom, if you read the book, you're giving him a compliment. So I'm not even gonna call you Uncle Tom, because I'm giving you a compliment, because Uncle Tom was in that book. Harry Beecher Stowe, Uncle Tom's Cabin, he was a rider, and he died for his people. So I'm not even going to use that nonsensical label for him, because some, liberal came up with it for us to use. I'm not even going to do that. So I don't even pay that no mind. So if I was RZA, I would double down on what I say. If I have a son, I know if you guys have a son, you would tell him to, adjust to your surroundings. Right. Understand how you move. Know how you move. Because if you don't do it, somebody's going to do it for you.
Exactly. What about you, Frank?
Yeah, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with what he said on his interview. Which people may say, I'm a bad guy. It seems like we all kind of have a similar opinion. Where it comes down to like how you dress, man. Like if you want people to respect you, you got to dress well, got to be well groomed, And, just to say, I don't think you should limit it to a white police officer either. Like, I mean, quite frankly, that's the way I'm going to view you. Like, if you're going to leave your house in pajamas and bedroom shoes, you look a mess, Like, you have no business leaving the house looking like that. Right. So, similarly, it's no longer in style necessarily to wear baggy clothes, You can wear clothes that fit. You can pull your pants up, and still be cool today. Maybe you couldn't do that, 10 years ago. But today, in 2015, 2016, you can wear clothes that fit. I mean, you can wear skinny jeans. I don't really agree with that style, but, like you're no longer have to give into that, like, that thug mentality, that thug style, So you can look appropriately dressed and be walking down the street late at night and be less... I don't know how to word it. Like less of a target than if you're not dressed appropriately.
Right. So. And I think the whole Black Lives Matters things have turned into like it's basically like cyberbullying, man. Like it's like a group of people who said like, okay, you owe me $5. You never gave me that $5. So every time I feel like I'm disrespected or something's not going my way, I'm just going to throw this hashtag up. You know what I mean? And it's just like it's turned into a gang. Like it's just got out of control, man. It's,
And I look at it. I don't even want to write their grievances off like they don't have grievances, but there's a way you address those grievances.
Well, it's different. Stuff, it's different categories. Stuff goes in. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you got a problem with police brutality, what we promoted during my campaign was an independent review board that reviews police brutality, where the cops don't got internal investigations and investigating their cops, because it's basically the cops investigating the cops. And Committee of 70, which is a big political group in Philadelphia, said we should pass this, get this on a city council floor, and they passed this law where we get an independent group that investigates police brutality, where they can't clean stuff up for their friends or proceed to clean up stuff up for their friends. So that's the route you go. If you want to address that, you address the tangible issues. But when you just saying stuff and you have no solution to the stuff you complain about, you just talking. It's basically irrelevant. And so that's a real serious issue that go on in a lot of urban communities. Is the lack of respect from the police and the community is a total disconnect. But how you fix that is having more community events with the police and the community, and promoting that independent group investigate police brutality. And so that you kill two birds with one stone with that, because you look at in certain productive areas, they have a good relationship with the police. They have events and like fall Halloween events, because it's like a working relationship. But when you totally have no connection, somebody has to stand up and say, listen, I'm reaching out to these cops. I'm going to reach out to these individuals in this community. We're going to come together. We're going to have a cookout, and we're going to talk. We're going to get to know who walking on the beat, what time you work your shift. That's how you fix stuff as adults and people that really want things done. But some people, a lot of times, people be bloviating, though. I'm learning that about people. People be talking online, like Francisco said. Some people just be talking. But, I call them activists. They online talking about this and that. Yeah, they was maneuvering. They was with this girl. They doing it. Man, I don't even focus on them. A lot of them will taint any movement.
Definitely, yeah. Man. I think like kind of how I said with the religion, I think cultural competency is well deserved in every arena for Black people, white people, Asian people, any color. And Black people, we need to learn even more about their own culture. Even white people could stand to use a class on cultural diversity. You know what I mean? If we all understand each other a whole lot better, we'll work better. And Francis, if you got anything else on this, John, we're gonna move to the next topic.
Yeah, we can definitely move on. I just want to say, I didn't hear the entire interview.
Yeah.
And like you just said, I don't want to be just like the people criticizing, only listen to a 30-second snippet.
Right.
So I would like to go back and listen to the entire interview, because I hope he's not making an excuse for why there's police brutality against Black males. Because I think that's totally, a different topic. But as far as making sure you look right in public, I call it survival of the fittest. I mean, you got to be aware of your surroundings. Then I think he brought up a good point.
And one more point, I think that you just knowing how to move and understanding. I don't think I didn't hear it. I heard what Brandon just played just now. But I'm saying, I think he's going like, okay, this is how it is. And if you want to, move ahead and not get caught up in unnecessary nonsense. It will change in the future, but just how to get along right now and go ahead and live your life and be successful in your personal life, because you only get one life. You only get one you. There's only going to be one Armand on this planet. So I got to have the knowledge to have self-preservation and be like, okay, how do I move forward without getting caught up in silly nonsense? You can't just meet a girl at the club and sleep with every girl you leave at the club, because you're playing with fire, because you don't know that girl. There's just certain ways you move that you got to be accountable for how you move if you want to be successful. When you're just out here marching to the beat of your own drum and you just, take it how you want it, I don't care. Well, that's going to come along with a lot of things. That we know a lot of people that, have been bothered by the cops, but I know students that get mess with the cops every day. Now, if I'm getting bothered by the cops every day, I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, hold up. What am I doing? But I'm constantly having these interactions all the time. I'm not talking about once every 8 months. I'm talking about I'm getting stopped and getting yoked up by the cops on the corner every day. While I'm on the corner for 7 hours. I think we guys should start looking at things. If you want to win, learn how to win. But if you want people to make money off you and lock you up, keep making the excuse, but learn how to win.
I heard the whole interview in its entirety. I encourage both of you guys to check it out. RZA is a person I respect very highly, and 98.9% of the stuff that comes out that brother's mouth, I usually am in line with. So he did a great job. He even broke down like how he wanted to be a cop when he was younger, and he broke down the difference in how cops then were like neighborhood friendly people. Like they could come in your house and they could your car was locked, you could unlock your car. You can't even do that. So like a lot of barriers have put police interactions with neighborhood, with just day-to-day neighborhood interactions, where it keeps them kind of like not connected to the community. But we'll skip.
I do have one more thing to say. One more thing, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So it's like the point kind of was driven home for me like a couple years ago when I was sitting in the barbershop. There were two young, black kids. They were probably 5 or 6 years old, and a cop came in to get a cut, and the boys were being bad or whatever. And immediately the one kid said to the other kid, like, "Ooh, you better start acting bad. The cop is going to lock you up." And like right then and there, I'm like, it kind of clicked where cops have a perception of locking people up / today shooting people, where it really should be their image is to help, to serve and protect. You know what I mean? Like I should be able to approach a cop for any reason, and he should be willing to help me. Yeah. I shouldn't be afraid of a cop. Right. So it was kind of like, where did that mentality shift happen, and how do we get back to police actually serving and protecting us, all of us?
I think we got to look at it from basically like the Abington Cheltenham standpoint. I think that majority of the cops in Cheltenham and Abington have to live in Abington and Cheltenham to work there. They can't live in like Southwestern Police Abington. So I think that's what you got to do in Philadelphia. You got to get back to the Carl Winslow. Carl Winslow was a cop, and everybody in the neighborhood knew who he was. You can't be police in a neighborhood that you have no vested interest in. You coming all the way from Northeast, but you policing the bottom of West Philly. You have no connection with West Philly. You don't know none of the people. You don't know anything. And people say, "Oh, well, that's dangerous." And I'm like, "Well, that's the job. They should have to live and have a vested interest in the area that they're policing. There's no come and work then leave. Like you occupying this force or something. No.
Well, it's
I think that's part of it.
That's kind of spanned out through the entire world, though, man. It's kind of like the more advanced we get, it's like we lose that human element. And I had to get my car towed like a week ago, and buddy guy in the towing service picked it up, and he was really nice, man. He's really cool. And he was just talking like he wanted to offer like extra services for me, like he was gonna check the air of my tire, and check my battery. I'm like, "Oh man, that's cool, man. No problem, man. You ain't gotta worry about that." And he was like, "Oh man, just doing my job." And I said, "Man, wow, like this guy's going above and beyond. This guy's just a tow guy." But like little things like that, where people used to go the extra mile, just as a collective society, that stuff's going away. Everything is getting very individualistic. You're on your own out here. You know what I mean? And the police, it's kind of taking the same token, same effect. You know what I mean? So we can move on, and I guess we can dish that last topic. But so real quick, we can talk about the Kanye diss thing. I heard a lot about this a few days ago, and I don't know if y'all paid attention to this record or song, but Kanye, basically had his fashion rant, and then he actually dissed Nike, and I'll play a little short snippet of that track.
Jump man, easy, I feel so accomplished. I done talked a lot of shit, but I just did the numbers. Hers all kind of Adidas, man, they love it. If Nike ain't had Drizzy, man, they wouldn't have nothing. Woo. If Nike ain't had Dossie, man, they wouldn't have nothing. Woo. But I'm all for the family, tell them get your money. Easy, they line up for days. Nike out here bad, they can't get shit away. I stuck to my roots, I'm like Jimmy Fallon. I ain't dropped the album, but the shoes went platinum. Every time I talk, they say I'm too aggressive. I was out here spazzing, now y'all